welcome back to the podcast. Back again with another episode of A Day Life in Someone's Life. Alright, so today we have a very interesting person to interview. Someone that you don't really get to see every day, but you know they are doing a lot for this world. And that person today will be a counselor, specifically a student counselor, okay? So I know a lot of people out there like to listen to these stories, so listen up. This counselor is a student counselor. She is specialized in character building. And I hope for those who are looking for source of inspiration to become a counselor, perhaps that would like to know more about her life story, well, this is the podcast for you. Well, let's tune in right now to the podcast, everyone.
Hello guys, welcome back. Today we will be interviewing the counselor, Miss Siren. So we will be discussing about what it feels like to be a counselor and how, for those who would like to be a counselor in the future, what are the things that you can do. So let us interview today. Alright, so the first question that I would like to ask is, what are the path that it takes for you to become a counselor?
Okay, so in order to become a counselor, for myself I did a degree in psychology, but having a degree in psychology cannot make you a counselor, because in order to become a licensed counselor in Malaysia, you want to practice counseling, you have to pass through an interview at Lembaga Counsel Malaysia. So the requirement for you to attend the interview there is to either you have a degree in counseling, not psychology, or a master in counseling. So the program, either degree in counseling or master in counseling, the program have to be recognized by Lembaga Counsel Malaysia.
Recognized.
And then before you get to attend the interview, throughout your studies, like degree in counseling or master in counseling, you need to do your practicum and also your internship. And throughout the practicum and internship period, we have to collect the certain amount of counseling hours, like indirect and direct contact hours. So you have to fulfill the hours required by Lembaga Counsel Malaysia. Then only you can pass the practicum and internship. Then only you can attend the interview at Lembaga Counsel Malaysia.
I see. That's quite an experience to needing a boarding counselling to approve whether you can be a counsellor.
Yeah, and after you got the license, it actually doesn't just stop there. Like every 2 years we have to renew our license. So the requirement to renew the license is that we have to make sure that we collect the CPD point. CPD point is the continuing professional development. So Lembaga Counsel Malaysia, they actually said that throughout the 2 years we have to fulfill like 10 points for the daily counseling practice, and another 10 points is for you to attend like workshop or trainings to make sure that you continue improve your skills and your knowledge. So if you cannot fulfill the points that is needed, you cannot renew your license.
I see. So you have a bit of difficulty to further on your profession, right?
It's not difficult as long as you practice, and then because in this field we work with human problems, so it's very important for us to continue to develop ourselves or continue to improve.
I see.
Right, so just now you guys have heard about the story of how or what it takes to be a counselor. Now let us hear more about her stories on anything mind-blowing, perhaps something that is out of the blues, maybe? Let us hear about it.
Hold on. Right, so next one is like, how about when you become a counselor? Is there anything mind-blowing in terms of your experience as a counselor?
I'm not sure whether this considered as a mind-blowing experience or not, but yeah, there was one case where I do a text-based counseling with one of my clients, and then the client is have the suicidal ideation, and then there's one night he sent me a some photos, the self-harming photos that is very bloody, and then a lot of cutting, and then he got he was stuck in his own emotion, and then he started to he scolded me for nonsense things like you are useless for being a counselor, your parents didn't teach you well, and you are useless as a counselor because counselor cannot earn a lot of money. So because he is stuck in his own emotion, and then he just direct all his anger towards me. So he scolded me in the message, and sent me those photos and say that if I die, if I committed suicide, so you just be prepared that my parents will send you the lawyer letter to sue you lah for not being able to save me, something like this.
Well, that's one topic to cheer about. I'll be honest, that's really quite something. Well, let's move forward then. Let us hear more about the benefit of being a counselor. Let's hear some of the benefits that you can get from being a counselor based on Miss Shoyon's life story as a counselor.
Come first.
I see. Right. Okay, then let us talk about the benefits that you would be a counselor. In your opinion, what do you think is the benefit that you can get?
I think for me is that like every time when I do counseling, my client, they will always say thank you to me and say that I help them in dealing with their life challenges, or they learn something from me. But actually to me is that being in this role, what I'm seeing is that it's not only the growth in my client, but also the story that they share with me, their life story, sometimes is something that I never go through, never happened in my life. But listening to their story, supporting them, walking this journey together with them, actually contribute to my personal growth, as in help me to understand life better, and then to look at all these different experience from different perspective. So yeah, in the way it can say that not only me helping my client to grow, but they are sharing with me, like going through every session with my client, it also helped me to grow as a person. And when my personal growth increased, meaning that I know more things, I have more skill, and it helped me to contribute back to the society. Like through counseling, I can be more effective in guiding my other clients. So I think this is the biggest satisfaction that I get in this career.
I see. That's a very noble thing to experience. You get something from your client and you give back to other client. I think that's a very good thing. I think that's also one of the things that people don't really talk about when being a counselor. But I agree with you.
I agree with her. I agree. Seems like it's quite a good benefit actually. Well, now let us move on to the next one. The stress and the problems of being a counselor. Maybe for those who are still thinking about it, perhaps this would make you have a clear direction. Yeah?
Then in a way, a counselor will also feel stressed, but how does it feel like that? Does it feels like your client are very, very aggressive sometimes? Does it make you feel demotivated? Does it make you feel trouble sometimes?
Last time like when I was a newbie counselor, yes, sometimes I feel burnt out and demotivated, especially when I don't see a very obvious progress in my client. But now actually not so much, because like even though sometimes the approach that I use, my clients don't like about it, or maybe sometimes they complain or they request to change counselor. Yes, I encounter situations like this, but I'm very clear on why I use the approach and or where I want to guide my client to go. So I'm very clear on my purpose. So actually the stress is like normal people, how you guys feel stressed, just that I won't get myself stuck in the stress that I feel. But I can pick up myself from there and focus on, be clear on why I choose this approach or why I handle cases in this way, and if the client continue come back to see me, what else I can do to better support them.
Well, there you have it, folks. Now, that's one interesting story to hear about what it feels like to be a counselor. The stress that you face, the problems, the benefits, even, and of course, some of the wildest stories that you can hear. Perhaps it is quite a challenging job to be a counselor, but for those who are interested, I hope you have a change of heart. That is all for today's podcast episode. I'll see everyone in the next one.